This right here is a review of the brand new, well, sort of new EP from metal band Kittie-Spit 25, as in the 25th anniversary of their debut album, Spit. But before I dive into that, there's something that I want to talk to you guys about, even though I'm sure my wife doesn't want me to talk about it, but she is not the boss of me. She she kind of is, but I do what I want. Now, when I was younger and Kittie came out, I had a big crush on their original guitarist, Fallon Bowman, who is not with the band anymore. I believe she only lasted for that first record. And I was. I shouldn't talk about this. I'm going to talk about it. The other day, we were watching Dancing with the Stars. Now, we don't watch that show ever. We've never watched it before, but I was curious about something because this season on Dancing with the Stars, Danielle Fishel is on the show. Now, she was a crush for a lot of men during that time, and I was telling my wife that I have an idea for a podcast, and that podcast would be called First Boner. Now, the reason why it's called that is because I would want to invite all these different women and men, so it could be lady boners as well, but a lot of younger actors and actresses from a particular era of time and talk to them what it felt like to be a lot of people's first crush, first boner, or first lady boner, like Danielle Fishel, or Tiffany Amber Thiessen, or uh, what's that kid from Home Improvement? Jonathan Taylor Thomas? Examples like that. And Fallon Bowman, who was the original guitarist for Kittie, was not really my first boner, but I had a huge crush on her. And we are the same age, I believe, so it's not weird, just to be clear. And also, originally, I wanted to call it My First Boner, but then I took off the my because I felt like I was having that moment. Remember Justin Timberlake in The Social Network was like, take away the, just call it Facebook. I thought it was genius in that kind of way. Now, as far as this EP, normally I don't like the idea of re recording old records. I feel like that obviously that is a time capsule and a reflection of who you are as a person at that time, and you should just leave that alone because it's a reflection of who you were. But this right here is a very rare example where I feel like this is warranted because if we were to have an honest conversation about the first Kittie record Spit, um, it's not good. It's not a good record as far as from beginning to end. It had a lot of issues, but at the same time, it was a landmark record, a very important record at that time because obviously they were an all female band. They were an all female band trying to make their mark on the metal scene, and that was important and highly influential. But the record really wasn't that good. There was a few good songs, and the thing about Kittie is that on their sophomore record, Oracle, there was a very, very obvious leap in musicianship and quality in songwriting. They got a lot better at what they do, and they pretty much maintained that quality throughout their discography since that sophomore record, including the album that they released last year, Fire, which I reviewed, and I was pleasantly surprised how good it was. I really enjoyed that record. If you're into metal music, I do recommend checking that out. It was really solid. Now, with this EP right here, they took the obviously four best songs from Spit, re recorded them with new vocals, new instrumentation, and it is obviously a lot better. These songs have brand new life. It is much more high quality in its production. The vocals are a much better reflection of what Kittie is as a band overall. And, again, this is one of those rare occurrences where I feel like it makes sense to go back and kind of right a wrong, even though I still believe when you make a record, it's who you are at that time. But when they made that first record, if memory serves you correctly, they were like in the 15, 16, 17 age range. So they grew up a lot in a really quick period of time from that point to their sophomore record. And I could see if I was to put myself in their shoes that it's maybe a little embarrassing to go back to that album because, again, if we're being honest, it's not good except for like the four songs that they chose to re record. If you want to go back, revisit this sound, revisit these songs, and find that they actually have new life, this is actually pretty cool. 7 sticks of butter, peace, love, butter. Honestly, you wouldn't listen to First Boner, the podcast? I I think it's good. My wife did not like it. She did not like it at all. She's wrong.